WanderingTook. Go grab yourself a beverage of choice, cause it's time for some Marvel Champions. This is a brand new solo series, and holy moly, has it been a long time since I've done a solo run. So this is going to be a special treat for both you and me, because I am going into this almost blind. I just recently picked up the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. box. I've only played a couple scenarios, and I think it's time just to take this through. We're going to explore this together. I'm going to be playing this as is. Those of you who know how I like to play, you're not going to see the same shenanigans that I normally pull, simply because this is my face check against the campaign. But don't be surprised to see me switch heroes in and out. That will be the one rule I bend. And that's because I want to try out some different heroes, different ways of playing those heroes, different aspects, just for fun. So to start with, I'll be playing against Black Widow with Gamora. Those of you who know me know that I really like Gamora, but I actually haven't played her in Justice, I think, since the pre-con. So I wanted to have some fun with what she does and lean into the confusion aspect that Justice is known for and Guardians are known for. Now, this is not my first game playing Justice Gamora against Black Widow. I have learned a few things. They're especially these three people up here. Oh boy, do they add a bit of bite to this campaign. And I have found, more often than not, that the way Black Widow wins this against me is by scheming out. Yes, even with Justice, because this is a fighty Justice deck. But we're gonna see what we can do. I'm gonna, after some experimentation, I'm gonna change up some of my usual tactics, but I will try to do what this deck is designed to do, which is try to prevent her from scheming, bring out Float like a butterfly, punch to win, with a secondary goal of getting these counters down on the board members as much as possible. Because this is a campaign, and I want to know what's inside this juicy little box here. Which one is it? This one? This one. Yes, because one of these is a traitor. One of these three people, and to find out who, we're playing a game a la Clue style. Figure out the means, motives, and opportunities of the person who is responsible, and at the end we'll have to make a guess. So it seems. I haven't actually gotten that far yet. But that's enough preamble. Let's dive in. Scenario 1, Black Widow. S.H.I.E.L.D. computer specialist Sarah Garza is missing. A search of her Brooklyn apartment turned up an inhuman cocoon. Evidence that Garza's previously dormant inhuman genes have become active. There is no telling what kind of power she may now possess. With Garza now presenting a potential new asset, or a new threat, it is up to you to investigate her disappearance. It's also a convenient excuse to look into a disturbing rumor of a mole sitting on the S.H.I.E.L.D. executive board, which oversees S.H.I.E.L.D. operations and is also located in D.C. You track Garza's cell phone to an unused stretch of subway tunnel. There you discover a temporary base of operations for the power-hungry super scientist group AIM, which is working toward unknown ends with the help of Russian spy and assassin Yelena Belova, also known as the Black Widow. Let's just dive into it. I've already explained pretty much what my Gamora deck is designed to do. I will flip over into Alter Ego, though, because I want to start there. Black Widow, her big thing is she throws threat on the main scheme, but you can pull it off every time you attack her. And you pull a threat off, and then she resolves a preparation that could possibly nullify an attack or do something else that's funky. So that's one way you can try to keep the threat down, but with a threat threshold of 10 and at least 4 cards in that deck that scheme, and 2 of them also confuse you, yeah, that's a challenge that we're going to have to work for. Okay, so starting with my opening hand, I'm not even going to mulligan, because I kind of like 2 of the things I see, which is an upside the head and a keen instincts. So I'm going to start with my skilled tactician and flip over the top card. It is a turn the tide, which is an attack event, so I will add it to my hand. I will flip over. You'll notice I'm engaged with the AIM scientist. That seems to be the easiest minion to pull at the beginning of this campaign. I can choose any enemy in the deck, and this one has 2 hit points, which, hey, look, I have 2 attack. All right, so to get started, I'll pay using Turn the Tide for Keen Instincts. I'm going to use a Fusillade to pay... Oh, I'd have to attack for this, don't I? Yes, I do. So I'm going to attack Black Widow for 2 and use Fusillade to pay for upside the head, which does confuse Black Widow. Whether or not I get to use Float Like a Butterfly, I don't know. It depends on what comes out. Either way, this is very useful to confuse her right away. And I'm actually going to spend 2 mental resources to take the blackmail tokens. What are these? The information on each of these officers. For the chief surveillance officer, I can pay 2 mental resources to remove a secret from this officer and take 2 threat off a scheme. Not a bad start. My scientist is still in play, which is kind of unnerving, but, well, them's the ropes. All right. Let's draw up to my hand size of 5. Ooh, another Keen Instincts. That's nice. And some very cheap events. Again, very, very nice. I'm going to put 2 threat on the main because we have an acceleration icon. Black Widow is going to attack me. I'm just going to take it. 1 + 1. I take 2 damage. Aim Scientist does not attack. And then my card is a Covert Ops. I am confused. Black Widow schemes. That card, well, lucky for me, that really just moves the confuse. Good. I'm still in this. Oh, brutal. Okay, so I have to find a way to confuse her again. All right. I think how to best go about this is I do want to try and keep some. If I can take this down, that'd be great. If I can take anyone down there. If I use Turn the Tide and Acrobatic Move, I can reduce the secrets on the Chief Medical Officer and heal a damage for myself. And then I can pay for Keen Instincts. And then I will simply set the pace, which will do absolutely nothing because I'm confused. And then I will attack and kill the Aim Scientist. All right. Not too bad of a start. Next round, I'll drop. There's another upside the head. Ooh, I'm making an entrance. I like this. Ooh, I got a cross counter. Clear the area. This is looking all right. Let's add 1 threat to the scheme. Black Widow attacks me. Well, this time I am just going to take it. She's hitting for 1 plus nothing. So I'm going to... Do I just take the 1? No, I'm going to cross counter this. We're going to cross counter, so I mitigate all 3 of that damage. I deal a damage to the enemy, which also removes a threat. And, oh, I have to do, because this is an attack, I have to remove another threat to trigger the preparation ability on Black Widow. After this attack, put this minion into play engaged with you. Okay, so I've got a commando on me. I then remove 1 threat from a scheme, which lets me place a damage on a character. I'm going to place it on this Aim Commando, which is legal. Well, okay, here we go. That's something. Oh, the Aim Commando also hits me for... No, yes, for 2. And then I reveal my card, and it is a nabbed. Abduct Superhumans is not in play, so I have to find it. Did I discard it already? I did. That was my first boost card. Okay, put it into play. Then I discard cards from the top of my deck until an ally is discarded and tuck it under Abduct Superhumans. Placing threat equal to that ally's cost and an acceleration icon on it. Okay. Here's the acceleration. 2 threats. And I am just going to look through here because I've only got 1 ally. It's Nebula. So I lose a few cards. Nebula gets tucked underneath. And I add another 2 threat. So things are looking a little real. Let's see what I can do here. I think the play is to thwart and make an entrance. That gives me +2 thwart, which lets me remove all the threat from abduct superhumans, which makes this acceleration go away. And does this go to my hand? Oh no, it actually goes into play under my control. Oh, that's nice. And after it enters play, I get to search my deck for an attack or thwart event. Oh. Yeah, I'll take that. In fact, I'm going to take a decisive blow. Oh, no, I won't. No, I won't. Because I used making an entrance for this. Sorry. I'm 2 steps ahead here. Let me just heal 2 damage for my hero, as per making an entrance. I then want to add an attack or thwart event to my hand. I don't need... I'm looking at the icons to see if I can buy off one of these officers. Nothing really fits. So in that case, we are just going to go for a simple acrobatic move. No, not an acrobatic move. We're going to do a... Yeah, we're going to do a scare tactic. Why not? Why not? I've got the money for it. So unfortunately, I need a basic attack to do the upside the head. Well, Nebula, first of all, is going to attack and take out the aim commando. And I chose scare tactics so that I could upside after confused. Never mind, forget that. What am I doing? We're just going to go the acrobatic move, which will deal 2 damage to an enemy. There is no preparation or no threat, so the preparation ability does not go off. I will then pay, using a clear the area, for conditioning room to thin my deck a bit, which leaves me with an upside the head, which I will keep. And I will ready up for next round. Oh, some fun stuff here. All right, let's add 1 threat to the main. Black Widow attacks me. Nebula's jumping in the way. I'm sacrificing Nebula immediately because if I don't, Shadow of the Past will inevitably come out and I will lose her anyways. So Nebula takes 3 damage and is gone. I then am dealt a card, and it is Mad Science, which has 2 threat on it. Each aim minion gains an acceleration icon, and it has an acceleration icon on it. Wild. We are going to go a little defensive. Because I'm in a situation where I can actually pay a lot to get these down. I know the deck composition and where all my icons are, and I'm seeing some things that I like here. And, you know, I still want to set some things up. So we're going to use Decisive Blow and set the pace to pay for the Chief Medical Officer to deal 2 damage to an enemy. That will be Black Widow. That is not an attack, so that doesn't count. I will use an energy to pay off the chief medical officer. Pay off. To get rid of the secrets, you know. Keep them on my side. To heal up to full. I'm then going to attack with Gamora, which will remove this threat off Widow's Web to trigger that preparation ability, which is attach this card to Black Widow. She now has the Gauntlet. In order to get rid of it, she has to trigger her preparation ability, but have no preparation on the card. So I'm gonna have to keep some threat here in order to trigger that. She does have Retaliate. Okay, good to know. But she doesn't. What else happens? Nothing else. So she doesn't not take damage or anything. So I take a damage in retaliation, and I will upside the head to confuse her. And we're ready for next round. Okay, we have 2 threat on Widow's Web. Drawing up. There's my Float Like a Butterfly. A few other fun things. She is going to attack me for 2. I think I'm going to let this go. Hits me for 3 total. And my card that I reveal is Night Vision Goggles. Okay, so now we've got a few different attachments on her. This is not awesome. Okay, so now I need to start taking down some of this threat. Well, I definitely need to pay for this Float Like a Butterfly. So we're gonna spend a couple attack cards to pay for Float Like a Butterfly. Just, you know, we're setting up here. I am then going to thwart 2 off of Mad Science. I'm then going to Scare Tactic to deal 3 damage to her. So that's going to trigger her preparation. There is no preparation, so what happens? Let's trigger all of this. After a character you control attacks Black Widow, if no preparation ability was resolved, discard this card. So her Gauntlet is now gone, but I do take the retaliation. Next one. Each encounter card without a printed preparation ability gains preparation, prevent all damage from this attack, then discard Night Vision Goggles. So she takes no damage, but the goggles are gone, which is really, really nice. I will then multitask with a wild icon, so I can remove 2 threat from each of these schemes, getting rid of Mad Science, pinging her a damage in the process. Okay, that leaves me in a very good spot. I'm actually going to flip because I'm down to 5 hit points. I know that's going to clear her confuse, but again, I think we're all right. I'm going to exhaust Conditioning Room, return the bottommost attack or thwart to my hand, which is a Turn the Tide. Really, I'm just doing that to heal a damage. I'm going to toss it at the end of my turn because I don't want that card right now. Although, that's not a bad one to have. I do want to dig through my deck a bit, though. All right, so my hand is, I got a Genius, a Sword. Sword is nice. Multitasking, Cross Counter, Float Like a Butterfly, and a Strength. Holy moly. What a wonderful, wonderful draw. We have 1 threat on the main. Black Widow does not scheme because she's confused. I do get a card. It is Aim Interference. Insight 1. Place a secret on each board member. You may spend a Fist resource to prevent X of these counters being placed. I'm going to spend 3 Fist resources because that is a good deal. It's usually 2 for 1. All right, so I am up. I'm going to look at the top card of my deck. It is a Scare Tactic, which is an attack event, so I will add it to my hand, just really for the resource. I'm going to recover for 3. Ooh, I might as well conditioning room. Let's see what I got down here. A fusillade. Hey, that is something. Heal for 1, so I'm back to full. Flip up. And we are going to spend a... Ooh, I can take that surveillance officer down. You know what? I'm going to spend a genius and a multitasking, a genius and a float like a butterfly to get my sword out. And yeah, I think I can just pay for a multitasking to get rid of the threat. And then with 2 keen instincts and Gamora's sword, oh, after that thwart actually lets me deal a damage. And then with Fusillade, I get to deal 5 damage to an enemy. So Black Widow is down to 0, which flips her. When revealed, place 2 threat on the main scheme. And since I didn't attack to kill her, I get to use my precision ability to remove a threat from the main scheme. Not so bad so far. She has 16 life in this form. I am back up and ready for draw. 5 cards left in my deck. Ooh, we got a momentum shift. That's nice to see. And I'll shuffle this up. I have decked myself, so there's a card. Black Widow is attacking me. I am probably just going to take this. I've got so much healing in my hand. Alright, so I'm going to take 3 damage. Let's just do that first. But then I have the other aim interference card where I have to place secrets on board members. I may spend mental resources to prevent this. So I'm going to spend a clear the area because it's the only mental I have. Let's put 1 on the Chief Tactical Officer and... Ooh, do we do that? No. We're going to put 1 on the Surveillance Officer, 1 on the Medical Officer. Okay. First of my 2 cards, Aim Soldier that has Patrol. When revealed, find the scientist. I know he's here somewhere. There he is. Second card, it's getting crowded in here. Widow's Bite. You are stunned and then take a damage. Well, that's no good. I'm stunned and there's 2 enemies out. Well, let us see what we can do. I'm going to try to attack and do nothing because I'm just clearing my stun. Then I'm going to... I want a momentum shift. Yeah, we're going to momentum shift. Sorry, just a quick rollback because I made a mistake. Let's go back here. I'm not allowed to take threat off of this yet because of the patrol. So that guy's got to go. I think I just have to momentum shift to deal 2 damage to him. And I heal myself for 2 damage, so I'm at 8. Yeah, not a whole lot I can do here. I'm going to Spend 2 fist resources for the Chief Tactical Officer so I can take out the AIM Scientist. No, we gotta take out that AIM Soldier. I'm looking at my damage. Yeah, let's leave it at that. Oh, and I was actually able to ping, wasn't I? I was able to ping somebody with the sword. So really, I could have pinged the soldier with the sword. Can't forget about that, because I did play an attack event, and then I paid to kill the AIM Scientist. That works. That works. All right, ready for next round. Drawing up. Come on, give me some confusion. No confusion. Dang. Okay. It is what it is. So we are up to 3 threat, because she adds additional threat when she's in her second form. She is attacking me. I think I'm okay with that. 2 + 1. I take 3 damage. And then I reveal Grappling Hook. When I play an event, it gets discarded without effect. I can deal with that. Let's see. Can I do anything funky here? No. I can play an acrobatic move for nothing. Grappling Hook goes away. It's discarded. But I did play an attack card, so I do get to remove a threat. Not that it really matters for what I'm about to do. I'm basically paying for make an entrance to thwart all of this off, which in turns let me heal 2 damage for making an entrance, and I deal 1 damage to her. I will then just Piercing Strike to deal 3 straight damage, plus 1 for the sword. And ready up, ready to go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Interesting spread. We will put 2 threat on the main. Black Widow is attacking. Yeah, we're going to go all out now, so I'm going to let her hit me for 2 plus nothing, which is great to see. And we have an assault. 5 hit points. What are the chances that she has a 3 boost in there, hey? How much attack do I have on me? You know what? I think I'm going to actually stand in front of this. I will take 1 damage in 1 damage total. And it's my turn. Okay, I think this is the play. I spend a Turn the Tide for a Think Fast. So for the cost of 1 damage, I confuse Black Widow. I will then pay with Nebula and Forward Momentum to the Chief Surveillance Officer to take 2 threat off the main. And then I will pay for a Momentum Shift, which will heal me for 2. There is no card to discard. And that will deal 2 damage to Black Widow. Plus 1 for Float Like a Butterfly. Plus 1 for Gamora's Sword. So we're down to 6. And we'll ready up. So not too bad here. We're ready to close this out, and I definitely want one of these officers cleared, so hopefully we won't get one of those AIM interference cards coming into the end here. So my hopefully last 5 cards, we've got a Multitasking, Superpower Training, Piercing Strike, Set the Pace, and a Genius. So if nothing else, we've got some options to keep threat down. Black Widow is attacking me. Don't think we're closing this out just yet. I'm going to defend this because that's a lot of potential damage here. Yep, she's hitting me for 5, so I take 3. That is a lot of damage. Next card, Widow's Bite. I am stunned and I take a damage. Well, That changes quite a bit, doesn't it? Way to stay in the game here, Black Widow. This should be 2 threat, by the way. Well then. Yeah, there's not a lot I can do about this. I think I gotta spend the double genius to remove the 2 threat. And I will spend, using 2 keen instincts, a piercing strike to clear this stun. Let's just get superpower training out, because it is a target for my finesse ability. And then I'm going to flip, use conditioning room to get a momentum shift back. Nope, to get a clear the area back in my hand and heal a damage, because I can't survive all that. And then we're ready for next round. I'm gonna discard these 2 cards. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, we're doing all right. We've got 2 threat on the main, plus she's, well, not going to scheme. My bad card is an assault, which gains surge, into an aim soldier, which, guess what? Puts that aim scientist back into play. Where is that aim scientist? There he is. Well, they don't have guard. Okay, so what are we at? We're at 3. That's fine. I'm going to use conditioning room to pull a momentum shift back to my hand. I'm going to use my tactician ability to look at the top card. It's a forward momentum. I will just add that to my hand. And I will flip. Oh, that should have healed me for 1. I'm going to spend an energy on the chief medical officer, clearing all my board members. That will heal me for another 1. We have got 2 threat on the main. Well, I'm just going to attack and hopefully damage Black Widow. Preparation goes off. There is no preparation ability, so Black Widow takes 2 damage and is confused. I will then, for 2 resources, momentum shift, healing for another 2, and dealing 2 for momentum shift, 1 for Gamora's sword, 1 for float like a butterfly. Black Widow is defeated. Awesome. Well, that worked out much better than my test runs. In my test runs, I was trying to get my sword out in play preferentially over other things, which wasn't the play. I was also not as diligent in confusing her as I was this time, and I think that worked out well. And I was pretty on top of the threat in this one, so that did work out. There were a couple close calls. She might have actually killed me at a couple points, but managed to pull out a win. So what do we got here? We've got no. I need to pull out the manual. Okay. One thing I should have done, because the victory condition this actually matters for, is I could have spent my last couple of resources for Fusillade before I took out Black Widow to exhaust the sword and kill the aim soldier, which then would have put a damage on the scientist. And then when I took, and then the rest takes out Black Widow. So we still have a scientist in play. All right, so under the victory conditions, record the number of secret counters on each board member in the campaign log, so that is 0. Record the total number of minions and side schemes in play. Does player side schemes count? Seriously, does player side schemes do player side schemes count? I wouldn't think so, but sure, why not? If at least one board member has no secret counters on it, gain an evidence card from the shield envelope. So, we have earned Wiretap. So we know that Wiretap was not the means. Which doesn't tell us a whole lot yet. Hopefully we'll get there. Alright, so that was it. That was fun. Thank you everyone for watching. In the meantime, have yourself a good night. Bye all.